I just selected start stream. You know what's terrible is that
Hmm.
YouTube was saying that it was getting the video. It just wasn't like I wasn't live though.
Oh, what the?
So even though I clicked start on OBS, it didn't like create a YouTube segment. No. Oh shit. Well, my bad. Fuck.
I can condense it. I think
Okay.
first run was practice run. Practice run.
Practice run. Practice run.
We live now?
Yeah, we're live now.
Okay. I'm just making sure. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Healthy Dialogue podcast. I'm Alon. I'm joined here by my co-host Spencer, and this week's discussion is it's a new segment. It's something I'm trying out. It's about music, and the general gist of this show is that anyone involved, it can be anyone, it can even be a listener if they want to hop in and discuss, but anyone involved is tasked with listening to an album over the course of a week, and at the end of that week we come in on the podcast and talk about the album, essentially any lyrics that we thought were especially meaningful, favorite songs. Maybe it was a genre you didn't know about thoroughly, so maybe it was an exposure to some potentially new music, which is always a good thing, right? But the general rules for this, for the week, it's kind of a little bit of structure, is that we are allowed to listen to it a maximum of 3 times. So like every song has a limit of 3 times to listen. You can listen to it in any order. I would recommend a full listen through in order for the first listen, but that's not in the rules. I just recommend it. You're allowed to look up the lyrics, and you are, just note down any significant thoughts for the discussion. This week's podcast's music album is a recent release by the artist slash rapper of Logic. It is his YS Collection Volume 1, which is YS's Young Sinatra, which is his alias that he goes by when he was back in the days releasing mixtapes. So it's essentially a compilation album, but it's from works before he ever had an official commercial release. So I guess he took his favorite songs and he repurposed them for commercial release, maybe some remixing and mastering for, different platforms. So yeah, an introduction to Logic is that he's been in the game for a while. He's very prominent. I would say most people that listen to Logic know his name at least. He had a few hits on the radio as well. But yeah, lately he's taken a break. Around 2020, he released his latest album, No Pressure, which I enjoyed a lot. But he announced retirement in quotes to rap for a while, and I guess this is his official like kind of release back. I know he's been releasing some singles here and there, but yeah, this is his official commercial release back into the game. So yeah, with me I have Spencer, and if you want to go through just general introduction, in the notes I have like favorite music genre, music listening habits before we start into the album discussion. So
Sure. I would say most of my casual music that I listen to is I would say the generic category is EDM, or the generic genre is EDM. That's not to say I branch off into some old classics and stuff. I have a huge appreciation for people with a wide vocal range, especially towards like the higher end. So I'll probably be listening to stuff like that. But I would say for most of the time I'm listening to EDM. When I listen to music, I think more about the melody, if anything. And actually, one of our co-owners for this podcast or this community spoke on this pretty well about how he listens to music, and like how the lyrics flow. It's like the lyrics are a part of the like melody itself, and I totally resonate with that. It's like I don't really pay attention to the lyrics most of the time, unless if they're like the unless if it's just
Acapella.
I don't know if it's like if there's a fine line between like the lyrics and the melody, then I'll have where it forces you to pay attention to the lyrics, then yeah, I'll pay attention to like the lyrics. But I would say most of the time I see it as just one, just the whole symphony itself, as a part of the whole symphony itself. So
Mm.
like to that regard, I also listen to a bunch of music in different languages. So like K-pop, for example, I don't really pay like I mean I don't speak Korean, but it's I don't know. I have a huge um, appreciation for some of the voices out there in the K-pop industry, and same thing for like some animes too. So
I would say it's even easier to spot vocal melody when you're not paying attention to the lyrics, especially
right.
during K-pop. Because yeah, what I don't know what they're saying. I'm not looking up the translation half the time. Um. All right. I guess I should say what my typical. That's hard to say. What I've been listening to lately is a lot of R&B, a lot of rap, and a lot of um my typical. It's weird, but my typical metalcore, post-hardcore uh, genres. Very eclectic music taste I have. So um,
I would say we could
yeah.
collectively agree on not listening to country, and everything else is kind of up on the table.
Oh, I'm gonna hit us one week with country though.
Oh no.
Maybe it might be like an EP, so it'll be like 5 songs or something.
Okay,
We could
okay.
talk about it, but there's some country out there that's good. I tend to stray away, but I don't know. I've heard a Chris Stapleton song that I've been like, oh, this is pretty good. It's not bad. So that I enjoy it. But um, what's your preferred way to consume music? Like the media, like any specific medium that you use, like Apple Music,
I would say like
Spotify,
I feel like
YouTube.
YouTube encapsulates. I don't know. I feel like YouTube just has it all. Like whether it's music or it's just some random video or like a specific video to for something, I don't know. It's like for animes, right? What are the odds that I'm going to find like anime music on or like K-pop, well, probably K-pop, but like just anime music or some off um or maybe even a different version or a remake of a song
Mm.
that I like. What are the odds that I'm going to find that on Spotify? I feel like YouTube is just the go-to place for everything. And so I don't know. I would say most of my consumption is based around YouTube. I'm not a fan of YouTube Music. That's a
Oh, you don't
different
use
story.
it? Don't we get it when we do premium? Because we both have premium, right? YouTube
Yeah.
Premium.
Yeah. I mean, YouTube
Oh.
Music is all right, but just YouTube. Okay, for example, what they try to do is they only get like the audio bit from certain videos. So if there's like a music video, if I searched up JT or and try to get like I don't know any song from him, it would do a conversion to like an audio format, and then YouTube Music would have that. But say if you did like a remix version of any of his songs, the odds that
Mhm.
that can end up as an audio file on YouTube Music is much lower. So it needs to like I think it needs to be flagged as a specific video in order to convert it over. But
Mm.
yeah, YouTube Music doesn't have all the kinds of features that you would want in like a music listening app.
I was gonna say I think Spotify is. I think you'd be surprised how Spotify is nowadays because I think
Okay.
they are widening their scope of accessible music. So like, if you like an anime, I'm sure they would actually have the anime like soundtrack on
Right.
Spotify. But
Okay.
I'm also gonna note this that YouTube likes to compress a lot of their audio files for upload. So at least sometimes when, specifically like when I'm listening to a metal album, the guitars will sound like really flat for some reason, and that'll turn me off
Interesting.
from music, like a music video on YouTube from an artist that I really like. But then I use Apple Music, so I go to Apple Music, listen through it through my nice headphones or my I have the, what is it called? The Audio Technica. Hold on, I'm grabbing it right now. I think these are 40s. Anyways, these are like studio headphones. Sometimes I listen through those, and then I use Apple Music, and it sounds a lot better than what you would typically get from YouTube. It's not like super discernible, but sometimes I get nitpicky about certain sounds in the mix, and I want to see if I like it or not by switching over from your like beat around headphones to a more expensive device, I
Right.
guess.
I guess the audio
But yeah.
quality hasn't always been top priority when it comes to music. Like if it's obviously bad, yeah, I'm gonna be discouraged. But
Yeah.
like most of the time, it's at a threshold where I can't tell the difference between the best quality and good quality. So
Oh,
I don't really it doesn't matter to me in that
you
sense.
filthy casual. I'm joking.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I am. I mean, most of the sounds that I listen to are just like electronic, like buzzes, anyways. So, how do you tell a good buzz from a great buzz?
Wow, wow. That's fair. That's totally fair. Um, what kind of music have you been listening to lately? Like, name drop some artists. I might not even know them because I don't know EDM as well as you do. So,
Madian is always up there.
I know Maddie. Yeah.
It's usually just the same like electronic guy. I just listen to the same stuff most of the time. So
Okay.
like Madian, Porter Robinson. That's really about it. I listen to more
Okay.
like anime, or yeah, probably more like anime stuff
I was gonna
now.
say you're on an anime binge right now.
Yeah, it's like 2 months ago I started watching anime and I just haven't. Like there's some animes that I like to re-listen to different soundtracks for. Most of it's just like um, the openings that I listen to. So it gives me some like nostalgic feeling of how that anime made me feel a certain way when I listen back. So that's really it. I mean, some of them are
Okay.
like actually bangers, but most of them that
I believe it.
most of them that I listen to are just for the nostalgia of going through it again.
You probably know Madian's discography more than me. Is it like bangers all the time, or is like half bangers, half like kind of chill, laid back?
Um,
Because I know EDM can make like laid back stuff, right? Or at least EDM artists. It's
I guess
not
I wouldn't know.
go go
The
go.
thing is with like my music taste, I would say I don't really care for albums too much. Like
Okay,
it's not about like album listening to or like listening through albums. It's more about which songs make me feel like the most interested
you're a
in it.
singles guy, sort
Yeah.
of. Yeah. Okay.
So
No,
I'm
that's
very
totally.
casual.
I'd argue but that is the normal music listener. Is that, oh, you hear something on the radio or something that's in like a random mix on like YouTube or
Right.
Spotify, and you're like,
Right.
oh, I like that one, and then I save that one, and the
Yeah.
rest
I
could,
mean,
you
perfect
can take or leave.
example is Keshi. Like I heard Blue a couple times and I was like, okay, this is pretty ballin'. And then I just like listened to Keshi Blue for and that's the only thing I listened to from him until
Oh,
like
really?
well, no, until you introduced me to um
I love all his music,
right here
personally. Right
and
Here's great.
there's one other one and I totally
Is it
forget it. But
Like I Need You? He's got a bunch
I
of
don't think
hits. He's
so.
hitting radio too nowadays. Like
Oh,
he's getting
nice.
big.
Yeah,
I believe. He's working on a full length album too, so we might do that for a music corner
Damn.
as well. So I'll save it. You were saying? Sorry, I interrupted for
Oh
a sec.
no, it's good, but that's the kind of like music consumption habits that I have. It's just
It's the
like
mindset.
I hear something once, and if I like it, then I'm returning to it.
Gotcha.
That's really about it.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Um, as far as music I've been listening to, it has been a absolute mess, an amalgamation of things. Um, for any of those listening, I listened to I like the recent J. Cole album. I like the recent Tyler the Creator album. Um, the new Slow Snow Allegra album. These are all R&B rap kind of genre artists that I'm name dropping right now, but who else am I listening to? Uh got some new Crystal Lake, that's some metalcore. Uh that shit go hard though. Sheet. um
Sheesh.
I'm anticipating the new Isaiah Rashad album as well. I re-listened to The Sun's Tirade, which is a great album, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, that's what I've been listening to so far. Um, I guess you already kind of covered this on a first listen. What aspects of music do you pay attention to the most? Is you said vocals, and I don't know if you wanted to expand on that or.
Yeah. So if there's like, I don't know, if a melody hits me the right way, then I'll be like super passionate about the rest of the song, even if it doesn't hit me in that same intensity as that like small sound bite of the melody.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. If I really like a certain portion of a song, then I will return to it, like no matter
Can a
what.
song like be kind of okay,
Yeah,
and then there's like one really good part or one really good like section, and then you'll save the whole song because you like that part?
yeah.
Okay, for sure.
I'm
I feel like EDM does that
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Maybe the drop is really good,
Like
or
Cinema, for example. Like,
oh, cinema's hard.
well, okay, like Cinema by Skrillex. I don't know. I think that's the one time where I've disliked the other portions of the song so much. Like um the actual voice lines that go into Cinema are for the most part are pretty good. Like I
You like the chorus the
Yeah,
most?
probably the chorus the most, and then when the beat
Yeah.
drops, I'm just like, I don't feel I don't feel this drop, man. It's like Cinema, it's so beautiful,
It's very melodic too, and then it just goes. Yeah,
right? Ugh,
I love the whole song, but that's just me. I like the. I guess I should mention this. I have kind of an ADHD taste in music. Like, I really like the. I guess ADHD is the wrong way to describe it, but like key changes, a lot of key changes or a lot of beat switch ups. If it's a good beat switch up or a good like breakdown or something, and it's vastly different from the rest of the song, you've already sold me. Like instrumentally, I mean. So like,
a couple of that happened in this album, actually. I would say there's like a couple songs in here that had that kind of switch up.
uh Logic does it sometimes, but I would say it's harder to find in rap. I was more equating to, Dance Gavin Dance that me and Jared listen to. They have like 3 or 4 different sections in like a 3 to 4 minute song, and it's just switch up constantly,
Oh
and
wow.
it's very it can be very jarring for beginner music listeners, but I love that shit. I think it's great. But that's just me. But I would say akin to Spencer, aspects of music I pay attention to the most is just like the sound and the feel. It's yeah, like if there's a part or a vocal melody that hits me the most, you've got me. You've got my attention. But if there's too much uh like repetitiveness, I get kind of turned away. So yeah, not specifically in the instrumental, but more so in like vocal lines and vocal melodies. If it's constantly repeating, like a little too much. Like what's that one? Isn't it like Chris Brown song? Like
Don't wake
don't
me
wake
up.
me up. Yeah, yeah. I can't,
Oh
dude.
man.
He says it like 8 times in the chorus. I'm like, it's over. The chorus is like a minute long. I'm like, no, why are you doing this to me?
I
But
really wanted to emphasize. He
he
didn't want
wanted
him
it.
to wake up.
Yeah, dude. He wants to sleep. But yeah, uh, I would say that's a good place to be. Um, so yeah, let's talk about the album, man. Uh, like I said earlier, it's a compilation album. The type of album it is, it's a compilation album. It's a compilation of uh, specific tracks from each Young Sinatra mixtape. I don't know how many mixtapes he released. I think it's like 3 or 4, but don't quote me on that. Um, as far as the genre goes, um, obviously, hip hop, rap, uh, very, very, uh, I guess like late '90s rap influenced as well. Um, and yeah, I guess what first listen impressions? What caught your eye the most? What stood out to you?
I got like a more abstract kind of response.
Okay,
I would. Okay, here's my first thoughts on the album itself. There's like
okay,
a
go for it.
most of the songs have like a cultural gap, or I don't know. For me, I understand that there's a cultural gap between me and kind of what the songs are about. Um, there's a lot of it that does mix. About like half of it is about, I would say, focusing on your career and getting places where you want to be, and like taking pride in that effort that you're putting into it. That's
Hmm.
what I took away from like half of the songs. The other half was just like, it's, I don't know. There's just like a difference in culture, and it just didn't stand out to me as much. But you would get like sound bites from those two different perspectives, I would say, in most of the songs in there,
Hmm.
except for one
There's a
of
lot
them.
of
But that one stood out, and I
wait,
think
which one?
the 5 a.m. song. To me,
Oh,
that
5
just
a.m. Yeah, yeah.
to me that was just like the I in my notes. I just have a line of question marks. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm listening to here, but and I think that's kind of the point, because I mean, what else are you gonna do at 5 a.m.? You
Well,
either
like
you
5 a.m. was like name dropping shit. He just name dropped so many like references to pop culture,
it's like
pop culture rap specifically.
roll
So
the
I was
credits.
worried. Yeah, right. I was worried. Like he was talking about a lot of his influences, and I was like, oh, is Spencer? Like, what was the one line? I'm a born sinner is why I listened to Cole. Born Sinner is J. Cole's one of J. Cole's first albums. I'm like, Spencer's not gonna catch that. There's no way.
I
But
guess from
yeah.
that, yeah, okay. So for me, then I guess that changes my perspective of what inspired you to go into the industry, which I think that this song that then has this place in this album. Otherwise, if like I didn't have that kind of information, I was just gonna be like, these are so disconnected thoughts that I just can't appreciate the song in general. I didn't even think that the melody was that great. Like there was no situation that I would be in where I would think that this song was pleasant.
That's totally fair. I actually thought the same way. I was gonna bring this up as a general opinion about Logic. Is that, and this is my biggest problem with Logic, because I like him as a rapper. I like the instrumentals, but his choruses and hooks are not great. Like the repetitive moments, I guess, when he's
The
not
Dead
spitting.
President 3, or the Dead, which one is that? The 11th in the album, Dead President.
Oh, I was gonna say all of his tracks. I've listened to several of his previous works too, and this is kind of a recurring thing. It's hard to get him. Sometimes it's hard to get like a good chorus from Logic because sometimes it feels kind of hollow and not really impactful. When
Gotcha.
usually in other genres, or even in rap and hip hop, a lot of choruses are so powerful, or that's the hook, or that's what's gonna bring people in, because that's the part that you know is gonna come back later in the song because it's gonna be repeated.
Right.
But for Logic, this is my biggest beef with him, is that his choruses are not great. If he like rapped through the whole song, like Tokyo Nights doesn't really have a chorus, right? The last song
Right.
doesn't really have a chorus, but I like it because it's kind of like this chill, smooth. You got this like smooth bass in the background, and he's just rapping through the whole thing. He doesn't repeat anything, so it's you could put it on in the background while you're, playing a video game or something. It's pretty. It serves its purpose, at
Right.
least for me. But
I would say like half these songs I have notes for, and then the other half I just didn't have like anything to say. And that's not to say, okay. I either had nothing to say because I was so disconnected culturally about what the song was about. Because, I mean, most of the time I don't look up the lyrics, but I figured I should be doing that for this activity. And the only times that I've ever looked up the lyrics in the past is if I want to like sing it accurately or understand the song accurately.
mhm,
And so otherwise it's just like a part of the melody. So it's like whenever I try to sing the parts, it just ends up being a mixed match in words of what the song is actually saying and what I think they're saying. So yeah.
for sure.
Anyways, that's not to, even though I only have like notes for half the songs in the album, I don't think that necessarily means that I didn't like it. I just felt like when I looked up the lyrics, I didn't have much connection there. So
For
I,
sure.
I would say most of the notes don't end up going into like the late or the second half of the album.
We can kind of speed run through the track list. I wanted to cover 5 a.m. real quick though.
Sure.
Um, because the main idea for 5 a.m. Because Logic loves to do his like braggadocious, like, yo, check out all the chicks I'm macking, all the money I'm making, check out my new ride. But 5 a.m.'s like half of it. It's like, talking. Yeah, he's like shout out my homie Chance. Chance the rapper, another rapper. He shouts out J. Cole. Yeah, I'm a born sinner, but it's a Cole world. Shout out my homies that know me. I can't forget my old girl. That's a rhyme scheme that J. Cole used in uh, what is it? The Miguel song. The all I want is you. That one. He's like, got one, got two, three, four, girl. Yeah. So I picked that up, but yeah, there's a couple of songs in here that talk about how his mom was almost killed.
Yeah, those stood
Uh,
out.
yeah, those definitely stood out. But 5 a.m. is kind of like about how he, like, kind of the shit he's seen, the shit he's gone through, like, in the streets, right? And how he's kind of calling people out for hating him and his success, but also trying to keep his composure through making sure that the past doesn't bother him and these people that are like shitting on him don't bother him as well, right? There's a lot of references in this track that I didn't get though. Like I looked up out the blue like Ella fits.
I remember reading that line. But
I was
yeah,
like
I didn't know
out
that
the blue.
either.
Sometimes okay. Yeah, so his thing is Ella Fitz is a blues singer, so out the blues. That's kind of that reference. What was so elegant? Death before dishonor, murder and reference. I didn't know the following line too. I rep Artanis, decipher the word because it's Ebonics. Artanis is Protoss from StarCraft. I don't play StarCraft, but I know Logic
Oh,
games
fuck.
occasionally, so it's a gaming lyric. Um, but yeah, that's 5 a.m. I personally didn't care for 5 a.m. all that much. Maybe it's because it's kind of like a low key, chill trap song, and that's not my personal taste. But
To me, it was just a roll the credits song. Like
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
don't know why. I don't know
Look
who
at the
would.
shit I moved out of, right? And then you know,
Yeah, I just don't know. I guess I wouldn't get why someone would listen to that. To me, it's just yeah. It's like yeah, you gotta
feels like a
pay your
background song.
you pay your
Pay your respects.
respects,
Yeah.
and but I don't know why a listener would care
It's a
unless if they felt
very
in the same way.
it's yeah, it's like a it's interesting because the the subject matter of a lot of these rappers is kind of same sometimes. It's like look at where I came from and look who I've become, right? Look at what I've moved on from and look at how I've grown and matured over the years. And now look at how much money I make, how many cars I have, how many bitches I got, But
That's yeah.
I would say
Those
early
specific.
Logic has that mindset of a lot of up and coming like SoundCloud or aspiring rappers is started from the bottom now yeah that kind of shit. Sorry, you were saying
No, I
something
was
else.
like, I think a huge part about some of these rappers is when they hit me with lines of like, "I got money and bitches now," and it's like, I well, not
It's
only
hard to
can I,
relate.
yeah, not only can I not relate because because I don't, but that seems so undesirable to me.
That's totally fair.
And so I think that's kind of the deeper reason why I don't have I it's not that I don't have appreciation. It's just this huge disconnect in your progress when you're measuring it to now having bitches and money. It's like
Not only do I not have bitches, I don't have money either. Wow.
and like the second I do get money, I'm not going to be, you know, bragging about having bitches and money along with it.
No, I'm looking forward to the next Spencer mixtape about not having money or not having bitches. Um. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just go down the track list, I guess, real quick. We can speed run it because we kind of spent a lot of time on
Oh no, I don't mind.
5 a.m.
We can take our time. I got a couple notes, but
Okay.
um
Let's start with All I Do because I loved All I Do actually. I really like the beat on this one.
me too.
It's a good start to the album.
I think overall it was just like a nice hit for
It's got a good
me too.
flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like the hook. I like the hook enough to that it's not the Logic hooks are take it or leave it, you know.
Right. I don't know. I kind of like this. I like the idea of being focused on yourself and seeing yourself grow from one place to the next and being proud of that. And that's kind of what I took from All I Do. And
Hmm.
on top of like the melody that I thought was phenomenal and wonderful, I thought the message was equally equally stood out. So I was a huge fan of All I Do. It's not my number one in the album though.
Hmm.
We'll get to that. But
I think
yeah,
it's
this
in the half that I like, for sure.
oh interesting. I would even say it's
Um,
in like my top three.
Top three. I would say top three, top five. It's around there for me.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't
what did
necessarily.
I?
I mean, unfortunately, this was the first song that I listened to, so I I can't compare it with how it stood out to the rest of it. If I wanted to
Hmm.
listen to it again, because I listened to all three times, like at the beginning. like a dummy. I should strategize how to listen to albums better with these conditions. But yeah, I thought
It
that
sets a good tone. Yeah.
right, right. It was a great
You
song.
thought you thought what?
No,
Sorry.
I just think it's a great song.
Okay. Yeah. What really stood out to me was the non-English parts. I heard it a few times. I knew he did French and Spanish a little bit,
Right.
but um the Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Have you ever listened to that Christina Aguilera song, Lady Marmalade?
I probably
Do
have.
you
I
know that
just
song? I feel like you would know that song because
I
it was a big pop song. But that's like part of the chorus. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? That song? She sings it like that, I think. I might be butchering it because it's Christina. But
I'd have to listen to it again, but
okay,
the
I'll link
odds
it to
are
you
I
after.
probably have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll bet. But yeah, it's a good start. I like the beat. I like the melody. I like the flow. Yeah. What's the next one? One with Frank Sinatra. Wow.
Here was my note. It was the kind of song I would listen to if I was like boxing. You got
Oh,
to get
okay.
yourself pumped up.
It's a gym
Go
song.
time. Gym song.
I think it might be hard because it opens up with Sinatra, like Frank Sinatra, like swaying you with his smooth voice, right? When
Yeah.
I was 21.
Got to get
But I
yourself in
can
the
see it.
mood.
And then he just goes into the trap beat, though, which is funny. But yeah.
But this was like also this was one of the songs that I would think you would reference with the beat switch up.
Mm.
I that's kind of what I had in mind with that kind of behavior in songs.
Is it when the Frank Sinatra part stops and then
There's
Logic comes
that,
in?
yeah, and then there's like also kind of melody switch up towards the end that I appreciated. I recognized when it happened, but I didn't know if I don't know. Maybe it's not the same thing as beat switch up, but it's not like a complete beat switch up, but there's a difference in how the melody changes from one to the next.
Oh, really? I didn't catch it.
Or maybe it's just
You
like
might
an
have a better
added
ear on
piece
that.
to the melody.
Oh, like another layer.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't hear it.
I think it
So
only
I guess
stood out
you got it.
because I liked it. So that's I guess the only thing there. I remember listening to one 3 times. I can't
Oh
say that
wow.
for
Okay.
all of them, but I know I did for one.
Produced by Six. Yeah, Six is one of Logic's frequent beat producers too. So yeah, I thought it was a good mix on the Frank Sinatra. Um, is he 21 when this came out? I don't know. Uh, I don't know how old Logic is. 2011. Yeah, he was 21. Lamau. Okay.
When I was
I guess it's
21.
21. Yeah, that one's good. It's short, but I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too.
The come up. I don't remember.
I don't have any
This
notes
one's like a
here.
little. It's a little chiller one, right?
I don't know why I don't have any notes here, but the next song I had, it's a not for me song. So I feel like if I had some distasteful opinions about the come up, I would have written them here. So I
Okay.
don't think it made me feel a certain way.
I think I was pretty indifferent towards the come up as well. It was like a chill kind of background, like came a long way. This is my way up, right? This is me
Yeah.
on the up and coming. Right. So, you wanted to talk about We Get High? Because you can't relate to smoking. I
I
can't
don't
either.
do drugs ever. And when I
Drugs.
try to do alcohol, I get headaches half the time. 50
Oh god.
50. Oh no. Yeah, that's just a not a song for me. The beat doesn't even hit me. The lyrics aren't for me. It's there'd be no situation where I'd want to listen to this song like casually or like pleasantly.
That's totally fair. I can't get into. I guess I didn't really pay attention to the lyrics all that much. I had a general idea, but it was just like, you know, he was on his braggadocious shit, like, oh yeah, drugs, money. My mind's in a different universe, bro. Like shit like that. A lot of repeating. The chorus is repeated a lot. Um, there wasn't a lot of rapping on this one. He just talks about weed, crack, and selling shows. So, uh,
We
yeah,
get high.
I like the like light key embellishments in the background of the beat. That's cool. I like the beat. I'm okay with the beat. It's just, uh, you know, with rap, it's the lyrics that are uh, pushed forward, right?
Right.
So they're the ones that stand out the most. And yeah, I agree with you.
I
Frying
probably
motherfuckers like okra.
I probably would have liked the beat better if it was just by itself. I think the lyrics just ruined it for me. And that's probably why I wrote the the note down that the beat wasn't
Or like a
hitting me.
different subject matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it. All right, relaxation. Isn't this one about girls?
I
Oh, he's
thought
talking about one chick and then he talks about another chick.
yeah. I wrote down it was like pretty sexually explicit.
Charged.
I just can't relate to the getting bitches and moving from one to the next. I don't know. A huge turnoff for me is that like he's just whenever he talks about like women, it's not.
It feels disconnected.
It's like I don't know. It takes a certain someone to be like these bitches, in referencing women like that, and that's just not.
This is early logic. This is like early 20s logic too.
Ugh,
I
these
think you might
bitches.
enjoy his later stuff because he's now married and has a kid,
Oh,
and he
nice.
talks about like one of his songs. His latest songs is called the name is Dad Bod. like, like he just talks about like picking
Wow.
his kid up from school and like how he's got to care about his wife. So maybe you might find more value in his newer stuff
Hey man,
that
some
I talk
matured
about.
taste.
Yeah,
His
right.
music's
He changes
evolved.
over time. Yeah. Um, I stay with Magnums. I ain't talking Smith and Wesson.
Okay, that one was just like, what the fuck? Some of those lines in there, man, I'm shaking my head and I'm like, this is so not me.
Like sometimes when the girl comes in and like sings her part in when like he's talking about what she's saying, like the that when it's like she said, "Hold up, don't get down like that," shit like that.
Hold up.
Damn, Poppy, how you know I like it rough?
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, this one definitely stood up, but I sedate the pussy like a vet. like, like it's not terrible because it's serving the purpose of the song. The lines are like an archaeologist trying to bone. Like, okay, dude, now I'm digging shorty like an archaeologist trying to bone. I actually
Genius.
like that theme of those bars where it's talking about it's equating like archaeology to a woman's body, I guess. It's
Ugh,
some simp shit, but
I
it's
don't know, man. Like,
it's
I can appreciate that it's creative, but I still shake my head with a smile because it's fucking stupid.
maybe I'll make you listen to J. Cole's Wet Dreams,
Oh
because
no.
that's like a good song that deals with like old J. Cole talks about like his first time. But I think Logic was heavily might have been heavily influenced on this song about J. Cole. I mean he's told the press that he's J. Cole's an idol for him. So I can see the J. Cole influence on this song for sure. And one of J. Cole's biggest songs is What Dreams. So but What Dreams is better. But yeah.
All right.
Next song, Numbers. Did you know the sample on this one? Because
No.
it stood out to me right away.
No.
Did you ever listen to Paramore
Only like
or
a couple
watch?
songs, but
I guess maybe it's not a. It's one of the bigger Paramore. Did you ever watch Twilight? This is a weird.
no.
This was so the sample is from Paramore's Decode. That stood out to me right away. But it's one of their like it's a song. I don't know if they made it beforehand, but it might be a song they made for the movie Twilight. Don't ask me how I know. I don't even like Twilight. I just I like Paramore and I like their songs. It's a good Paramore song too. But that was the biggest thing that stood out to me for this song. That's the only note I have for this song. If you have
Oh,
other notes,
interesting.
go for it.
No, this one, okay. The first five were okay. And then once
Okay,
it
yeah.
got to numbers, it became like a real headache. And
Oh, really?
yeah, I don't know. I was trying to look at the lines and I was like, I'm trying to get a feel for the message of the song, but it just keeps bouncing around between random shit that I can't get it. I think there's pieces in there that are really good. So this is like a part of the chorus. Because men lie, women lie, numbers don't, I see that. And it's like, okay, okay. Like that kind of slaps. That's pretty good. And then the
Okay.
next ones are catch me in a private jet. Like, fuck it, where the weed at? And this flight attendant got the fattest ass. You know I need that. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit, man? It's like, no,
Is
that
he
was
trying
so
to reach deep
inspiring.
or just stay on the surface, right? For half the chorus of the second
I don't know,
half.
man. It's like numbers don't. I see that, and that's such an inspiring. I don't know that in the "cause men lie, women lie." I feel like that's so inspiring, and then it just goes to, oh shit, I need to take it back down to, being a human, because as much as I can see how other humans operate, I'm still one myself. And so then it
Right.
goes into, where the weed at and flight attendant got the fattest ass and he needs
Oh
it.
yeah.
So so what really matters here? Like numbers are what's important, or is your humanity more important?
But like some this is a recurring theme for Logic's earlier shit, like but some of these songs he talks about how he doesn't care about the women or the money, it's about the music, right?
Right.
And then I see at the penthouse popping bottles of that $100,000 wine. Like he's bragging about that. And I'm like, I don't know if he's bragging about the status and where he's at, but earlier he doesn't care about the status, it's about the music. So like what does he actually care about sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? This is early Logic though. I just want to early Logic. Um
No, I think that's really important though, because I think there's he either understands the world differently than like we do, in the sense that this is probably giving way too much credit, or it's probably not giving him enough. I don't know which one it is, but there's understanding that your work is what gets you in the position that you're at, and then that is the reason why you're allowed to focus on like things that your character wants, or like get get you I don't know, that $1,000 wine. I don't know if that's like, if you have a humble approach to say something like that, or to understand that that's what's happening here, if or if you're going to take credit for the effort that you put into your job to be at the height of the marketplace.
Right.
I think there's just this battle between that perspective that it's just a job, and the market like elevated you to this position of power with money, or this, I guess, position of status, more accurately, or if it's your efforts that got you there.
Hmm. It's also a gamble too when you're listening to these lyrics. Is like he could totally be self-aware the whole time, or is he just saying it and he doesn't see that he's hypocritical sometimes, right?
Right.
I don't know. Uh, there's one line in this song in Numbers, where he says, "Now these bitches say they love me, but they just obsessed with the image." I don't know if he's like also projecting from his point of view that he's obsessed with the image, which is why he raps about it all the time. When in reality, he knows down the line he's gonna care about and does care about the music over the over the image of being at the top,
That's
right? So I don't know if
interesting.
that's something meta or if it's just him rapping about bitches. It could be one or the other, right?
My perspective on that is that the women don't see the effort, don't see your ability to get there through the effort that you put in to get there.
They just see the
They
status,
only
right?
see the status. And yeah, I don't know. It could also be the perspective you brought up too, but giving him the, like, well, I guess I shouldn't, it's not even the benefit of the doubt, but I'm also keeping that perspective open, or the one where it's just, no, these people don't understand how much you sacrifice in order to get to the place of success, to get you the
Right.
status that you are currently at.
Yeah, the what is it? The come up talks about that too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for sure. We already talked about 5 a.m. We Ballin.
Ballin'.
I didn't care about Ballin, dude. I don't like it.
Yeah, there was a lot of
It's
repetition in there. I don't know.
I feel like I'm walking into a Nike store when Ballin comes on. I walk out with a new pair of Jordans. It's Ballin. Like it's kind of just like a oh whatever, you know. I'm Ballin.
Ballin'.
My literal notes on my notebook under Ballin said and that was it. That's all I got.
I thought it was catchy. It would only be like catchy for one song, or for one like listen through though. Like I don't know.
Yeah, you
Listening,
play it to like meme on your friends. I would do that.
yeah.
But yeah.
That's really all I have for Ballin' too.
But I'm balling. What else does he say? I'm pulling up the lyrics right now. Uh yeah, once again, the fuck the money, fuck the fame. I came here to fuck up the game. Like he
That's
has
actually a
like three
very,
or four.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's probably the one lyric that really stood out to me, because
Oh really?
yeah, it's like, when you understand the marketplace, you need to find your spot somewhere in the market, right? Especially as like a rapper, how do you differentiate yourself between everyone else who's well known in the genre? And you need to, sometimes you got to forcefully create your place in there, and that takes a lot of sacrifice to make that happen. So quite
Yeah, like
literally, you're
sometimes
fucking
I'm
up the
like he
game.
knows his place,
Yeah.
right? So in my intuition from earlier might be correct that he's self-aware of what to care about.
Right.
But man, that chorus. I
I'm
came from
balling.
nothing to something. Like it's nuttin', yeah, you know I done it, now there's no discussion. Like in nuttin', like fucking big nut. Like, dude, like I'm gonna turn these zeros into tens and commas. Like, yeah, we get it. We get it.
Gross.
Uh, yeah, we can move on. Man of the year.
I
Sounds like a
actually didn't.
slower cut.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't have any notes for this song. I didn't
Once
think it
again, he
was
says "fuck the money, fuck the women" again on this song too,
right.
right?
Right. I think he doesn't he reference like women a bit more in this one too, or
I
like
believe I'm pulling up the lyrics right
well
now.
probably just like a little bit, but in some of the other songs it's maybe like a couple lines. Oh, maybe it's not like that much different from some of the other songs, but I remember like some lines about women in this one, and it didn't hit me. Well, I mean
I
I guess
think
they generally don't anyways, but go for it.
there's a lot of lines here that talk about the temptation of women and how he's got to focus on the game over the women,
Right.
for sure. Um, Shut the fuck up, ho. Let me get my mind right.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
that was
literally
this
a
song.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was this song. That stood out to me big. I was like, oh shit, okay. This is a
We going
no
there.
thoughts allowed song. Be gone, thought. Like, that's this song.
What kind of
Um,
attitude do you need to be in to listen to this song? I don't
I guess too many women.
know.
um,
What kind of audience listens to that?
yeah. Yeah, not a lot to talk about. It was man, slower cut. I didn't really care for this song either. It was long too. It's like 5 minutes, right? Yeah, shit.
Oh shit.
Uh, it's not deep enough to be worth 5 minutes. All right, just another day. Any thoughts on this one?
I felt better about. I feel like I felt better about this song than I did some of the other ones. It's
I feel
definitely
like
in the
there's a lot of.
top half, but
Oh, okay.
okay. I don't have any notes for it, but from my own memory, I think it was one of the better ones because I think it's I don't know. From my memory, I thought it was focusing on or like humbling things back to what you're doing in the present. I could totally be off. Maybe I just don't remember.
No, I think you're onto something. I guess for the listeners that know, Kendrick Lamar has a song called "Mama." You ain't, yeah, "Mama," where he talks about, and I can equate this to this song. He talks about being, um, so big and larger than life and so influential, and the main hook of that song is I know everything. I know he constantly keeps saying I know everything, and then at the end of the chorus he says I don't know shit when I go home to my mother, because ultimately with how young and successful you can be, sometimes you just don't have the wisdom, and that will humble the shit out of you. And I think that Logic talks about this in this song. It's that it's like the theme of his albums is making his way to the top, but don't forget, where you came from, who loves you, your family, right? The shit you've done to build yourself up, and that's why I do like the. I actually don't like the beat of the song or the hook at all, but I love the subject matter. So,
I don't remember necessarily liking the song, but when I looked at the lyrics, I thought it was a better song because of it. So.
yes. Yeah, another day living in the hood. What else does he say? All I ever wanted was some financial security. Everyone can relate to that, right? Um, Now I fuck with bitches just to mask my insecurity, right? He talks about he is aware that he does it, but he does it anyways, right? I like the line. My heart only has one love, like Serena and Venus. Any thoughts on what that means?
No, I have no thoughts.
Well, Serena, I don't know if there's another sister, but Serena and Venus are sisters, love each other, right? One love, but they're also tennis players. Love means zero in tennis, so my heart only has one love, like Serena and Venus. But he's like relating that to, you know, either the rap game or he talks about his mom a lot too as well. So very grounding track.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Open your heart before you lust it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Next track. Dead Presidents 3. I have a lot of notes about this one. I
I
don't know about
felt
you.
way too disconnected, but maybe if you point some stuff out, I'll have stuff to say about it. But
Okay.
yeah, my only note here was I think I just gave up. I was like
Oh, really? This was one of my favorite ones.
I was just I don't know. I
I
felt
couldn't relate
kind
to
of
it, but
disconnected.
I loved it.
Oh, for me, I was discouraged by not relating to it.
Not unrelated to it. I guess that is the difference in our. I guess earlier on in my music listening, uh, when I was more of a normie in music listening, I only wanted to relate to songs. But I think this song has good, good flow, good storytelling, I guess. But you say your thoughts first.
Um, I think I already said my piece on like the lyrics in general. As far as like the song or like the melody went, I don't remember it being that bad. If it was that bad, I would have wrote notes about it. So I think I
Okay.
actually felt indifferent about how the melody went.
I should provide some context then for the song. Um, I love the beat, and it's because the beat is sampled from Nas's "The World Is Yours." Nas is Illmatic. If you ever want to listen to rap, that's one of the greatest rap albums of all time. um, and in the song, Nas talks about uh, like struggling through adversity and the difficulties of life. And back in the '90s, we grew up in a more race race pressured time, right? So he talks about overcoming that. And the hook, right? He's repeating, right? It's also Nas's hook, or not Nas's hook, but one of the lines in Nas's song. He's saying, "I'm out for presidents to represent me, get money." He repeats that 3 times, and then he says, "I'm out for dead fucking presidents to represent me." So what this means in the Nas song and in the Logic song, I'm sure it's the same meaning, is that Nas is black, by the way. I know Logic is biracial. I think he's half. But when he's saying I'm out for presidents to represent me, he doesn't necessarily want a black president, but he wants a president to represent the black community also. He repeats that, and he repeats that because he's looking for them, but none of them are really good enough to represent the black. Like, once again, these
Oh,
songs were,
interesting.
at least the Nas song was created before we had Obama, right? But at the last line, he said, "I'm out for dead fucking presidents to represent me." Dead fucking presidents talks about the faces of the presidents on money. So instead of looking for a president to represent him, he's just going to represent himself, and he's going to make a shit ton of money so that he can have a voice in the community to
Interesting.
represent himself.
That's deep. Wow.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
super deep. Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's just from the hook, right? That's from like 2 lines.
right. Like wow. Yeah, for me I just like I there was some other songs in here where I just wrote I can't tell if I'm too stupid to understand this or if it's just like disconnected in some way. But no, it's that definitely clears it up that I didn't do the research on that. Maybe I should have looked at some other people's perspectives on how they read into those lines. But for me, it just like I don't know, something didn't add up there.
That's fair. I could totally understand your point of view on that. I'm big into that Nas album too. I listen to that on the regular, so that might be why I loved it so much because it's a good homage to that song too and what it
Mm.
means. What else does he talk? Waiting on a record deal that's never coming, like a priest. Like, oh yeah, you get that? Coming, like sexually coming.
Okay, I didn't think it would go
No,
there.
he meant it. He
He
meant
meant
it. He meant
that?
it.
Oh
Yeah, he
my
meant that
god.
shit. It's logic. He meant that shit.
Oh my. I yeah. Okay, I have no
Well, he also
religious.
says black and white like a nun, like right after that. So he's talking about how they're not, they teach abstinence at the same
Right.
time.
Wow, this song was fucking deep. Jesus.
Yeah.
No, I have no
Um.
religious background, so like as much as my friends joke about sometimes about like something horrible happening with pastors, fucking religious characters, I didn't think that. I don't know. I thought it was merely a joke and not so much like a reality situation. So
Mhm.
that's why it kind of flew over my head, but that's awful, but powerful.
Oh yeah. Um. Once again, he talks about using women to numb the pain of his lack of self-validation, right? Because he's still on the up and up. He's still on the up and coming. Um, talks about his background a little bit more. While neighborhood cats blast off gats like the Apollo ship, neighborhood cats refers to just neighborhood people, and gats is a gun, so he blasts off blasting guns like the space program, the spaceship Apollo 11,
Right.
right? Um, yeah, I think that's most about. I loved this song. This song was top 3 for me personally. Personally, um, but yeah, it talks about his mom, how him and his mom was super poor, how sometimes they didn't have anything to eat. Dad was a druggie, right? Um, so his mom was basically a single mom raising him. And what did he say? Yeah, this line stood out to me. Shortly after my mama got stabbed by fucking around in the streets. That's after Logic left home at 17. But she's still breathing, which gives me a reason to believe in a higher power instead of grieving. That was towards like the second to last part of the
Right.
song.
That one
So
stood out to me, but
yeah, that's a big one.
yeah.
So many rappers biting, you would think they was teething. Right? They're trying to like get at him, but you know, sometimes they're babies, like Lil Baby or Da Baby.
The
Pull
baby.
up, let's go. Um, yeah. Also, this part was a cappella, right? Because the beat just cuts off at the
Oh,
end of the
right, right,
song,
right. Yeah.
and then he does the like these few bars, and then that's it. So, yeah, the last part of this song is very stood out a lot, very strong. Um, next one, Inception. Thoughts?
This was my favorite one
Okay,
out of the whole album.
this
I,
one's
it
interesting.
felt inspiring. It was short. I think
It
there
was
was
like
a
two
story
minutes.
to be told, and it was picking yourself back up kind of vibes.
I liked this one. There was no chorus. It's just one of those. He just raps through it, and that's
Yeah.
it, right? I like the
I
the
think it was humbling
questioning of the
too.
religion too in this song,
Mm.
where he says, "This is everything I dreamed of. It's everything I ever wanted. But is it really truly in my plans, or did God mix up my blueprints? Did he have it right there in his hands?" Right? He's trying to search like, is it fate? Is life predetermined by this invaluable or infinite calculation of infinite possibilities? But at the end of it, is it set, right? Or
Right.
is there actually free will? So he's wondering if the choices that he's making today and tomorrow, like if they matter, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked this one too. Um,
I forget the last line, but that one just hit me hard. But maybe I'll
you can
search
look
it
it
up.
up.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it for a second. I should mention to the the sample they use in this song is akin, or it's not akin, it's straight sampled from Hans Zimmer's Time. Did you ever watch Inception?
No.
Oh shit, that's like the whole thing. He also talks about like if fate is predetermined, is it a dream and how many layers are we in? Because Inception's a movie about, layers of dreams and being able to manipulate a person from within, right? So is God maybe manipulating him through his dreams? Is God influencing what he's saying? Once again, theme of fate and predetermined.
Right.
Destiny. He got I got a date with destiny is the first line he comes out with. So yeah, but it samples Hans Zimmer's Time, which is the biggest theme from the movie Inception, which has a great score too. It's very impactful. But like the Inception soundbite, right, Spence?
No.
Oh, the darl, like it's like the big darl whenever someone like says something that could be like a conspiracy, I guess, in meme videos and Illuminati videos. That's it. The big whatever the soundbite is.
I'll listen to it really quick.
Maybe you gotta watch
Oh
Inception.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Did you find the line that you were
Yeah, I did.
talking
And
about?
actually, it's like the whole last segment of the song. I'm like a seed planted in the dirt. Feels like I've been waiting forever to grow. And maybe today is the day, and maybe tonight is the night. But one thing that I know for sure, the time I'ma get it. This time I'ma get it right. And like, I don't know, just the resolve to know that today's effort is going to be, well, actually, I don't know. I'm just pondering on how that last line hits. Like, this time I'm going to get it right.
It's the attitude you want, right?
Yeah.
When you're
Yeah.
trying to work for something, work hard for something, essentially. Today could be the day you sprout, right? Or
Right.
you could see radio play, right? Rather than just being someone who just tours a shit ton and doesn't get any hits or doesn't get popular, mainstream, right?
Right.
But yeah, it's a good one. Short one, but it's a good one. I like it. I dig it. I got a date with destiny. Walk on by. I like this one. I don't have a lot of notes about this one, but I like the flow. I like the instrumental a lot. I like the beat. There's like little to no chorus, and this is what I was saying earlier. Logic has hit or miss when it comes to like hooks and choruses. This one doesn't even really have a hook, so it's a good song, or it sounds good. But as far as the meaning, it's yeah, it's just talking about past and future and what he wants to work forward, but never forgetting where he's come from, right?
I think I just gave up on this song, to be
Really?
honest. Well,
I would have thought you would appreciate the subject matter.
I guess I just didn't look into it as much as I should have, if that's what it's about.
I
I
mean,
feel
the
like I
last
was just
verse is
so,
about women, so
well, yeah. I was
bitches.
wooed by Inception so much that I think I just
Mm,
didn't have that much to say about Walk On
it's
By.
not as deep as Inception.
Yeah. But um yeah, I don't know why I gave up on this song.
I think, personally, for me, I didn't listen to this album the whole way through. I listen to the first half and then the second half, and then I re-listen to each track individually, and then I took notes.
Interesting. Okay.
Because my first listen is usually like I'm just looking for the sound, how it sounds, and I was fatigued by the time I got to. I didn't. Oh, what was it? By the time like after ballin', I took a break.
Ballin'.
You know I'm ballin'. So yeah. No, I enjoyed Walk On By. I think it was, yeah, like the beat, little no hook, little to no hook is good. There was that like little sample, the Walk On By, that part. But other than that, yeah, I didn't have much to say about it either. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Last one is Tokyo Nights.
I
I like
didn't
this one
write.
too.
Okay, I didn't write any notes for this, but I know I enjoyed this one.
This is a new one too. This is the one new song he made for the collection.
Oh.
So this is modern Logic. This isn't old mixtape Logic music. Um, yeah, his flow is better too. You could tell. Oh, it has the feature of that other guy in the second half. My only beef is the last line is I heard it and I was like, huh? And it's me and Logic make this shit bump. It's like an ingrown, like an ingrown hair. Like it's a fucking. I was like, you gotta end it on that one. Like it's not a terrible line, but it's not like incredible. It's not mind blowing. But yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. That one's like kind of a chill, laid back. Uh, yeah, chill, laid back kind of.
I mean, it
Song.
mentions a couple instances of like what it means to be like a African American in some of these
In
lines.
Likes verse, yeah. Paper to Black Taurus. The beginning, I was skimming, I was dreaming, I was thinking. I had to run away from all my demons. I believe in a simple goal, stay true to what's you, and everybody else gonna see you for you. I like that. If you let yourself out, if you don't mask yourself with a fake identity, then you don't have to worry about having your guard up when someone enters your life that you want to let in, because if you're you, then they see you. They don't see the hologram that you've made
Right.
of yourself, right? So sometimes it's hard for people that put up defenses when someone enters their life, is that, you know, maybe they want to be let in but you don't want to let them in because maybe some PTSD, you didn't trust someone along the way, or
Insecurity about yourself.
insecurity. Yeah, something that you don't love about yourself, but as long as you don't try to mask that and or just at least work on your insecurity, you can more people will be let in, and maybe some people won't care, but the ones that matter will care. So yeah, I enjoyed this one. I enjoyed this one a lot. Um, Top three, go. Top three songs. I have to think about this too.
I know All I Do is on it, and I know Inception is on it.
Exception. Okay.
You know, after your explanation of Dead President, I probably want to.
Rethink.
I'd have to. I would consider that in my top three if I listened to it again with that in mind.
Dead Presidents 3 is my favorite. Um,
I might just
I
say
would also say All
numbers.
I Do. Oh, you like numbers?
I might
Interesting.
say okay. I might say numbers because of the dialogue that we had, because there was like some realizations that I think I had after talking about it. if he's that self-aware and like,
It's a gamble,
yeah, I
but
don't
I
know.
think he is. He is.
Okay.
I think he's aware. It's just it
Then
might
I
not be apparent on first listens.
Yeah. Then I suppose I appreciate the kind of depth of what he speaks to, even though it didn't seem very deep to me, like in the first three listens. But if that's his reputation, then yeah, I'll give him like a lot of benefit of the doubt for the kinds of like realities that I can think of or different perceptions that I can think of what he's referencing here.
Okay, that's 4 tracks, Spencer. I asked for 3.
I thought I just said okay. All I do, numbers and
Inception.
Inception.
Inception. Okay.
But I would
I'm gonna
reconsider
go.
if Dead President. If I listened to Dead President again with what you had said in mind, I might enjoy it more.
Mhm.
So that might be
I'm
the
gonna go
case.
Dead Presidents. All I do and. I'm torn between Inception and Tokyo Nights. I like Tokyo Nights a lot too because it's modern logic and it sounds good. And I like Walk On By. So I'm gonna say Walk On By. So Dead Presidents, All I Do, and Walk On By are my top 3.
Okay.
But I do
Okay.
want to shout out the 2 2-minute tracks as well. Those are great. Um, yeah. Would you
I
listen to those top 3 tracks again?
okay.
Your top 3
I would probably listen to Inception
in free
again
time? Okay.
in my free time. That's the
When you
one
want
that
to
I'm
feel
actually
inspired.
confident. I'm very confident that I would listen to Inception again. I don't know
Okay.
how confident I would be listening to the other ones.
I might like put the other ones on, like on a background. I don't know if I would have a deep listen, but I would have a. It'd be on maybe I'll jam or do a jig when no one's around the house. But yeah, thoughts. What did you think about this experience?
Overall, I think it was okay. It was just like
Okay.
I needed to be exposed to this difference in culture, and even though I don't listen to rap a whole lot, it's it was refreshing to
Okay.
understand that like this aspect or this other culture exists, and I can appreciate it more from going through this experience.
Just be glad I didn't give you a Kendrick Lamar album. That shit's so deep and layered and that shit's difficult to decipher. I'm still picking up on things from like stuff that like Kendrick says years later. Like it's still like I'm like, "Oh, that's a bar that could mean that. That could mean that." I could look this up. You could even look stuff up about Kendrick Lamar and just new stuff keeps resurfacing because he never wants to tell you the like real meaning of the song. He leaves it up
Interesting.
for interpretation, but his stuff is so layered. You might find more value in Kendrick's stuff too, because he has his braggadocious stuff, but it's not as plentiful as Logic's braggadocious songs.
Gotcha.
So, um, yeah, I had a good time. I love talking about music. So,
Yeah, I would do.
I was gonna say I wanted Jared on because he has more music theory knowledge than both of us do.
Oh, interesting.
Granted, this is rap, so it's like it's musically deep, but the difference is that a rapper's lyrics coincide more with the rhythm rather than the melody.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm glad I got to expose you because shit's deep, man.
Yeah, it is really deep. Thanks.
Um,
Thanks for saying
rap is
so.
deeper than I think people let on. So,
Oh,
but
I was
sometimes
definitely.
you just get the like a lollipop. You get that, that kind of shit sometimes,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you're like, is this rap?
No,
Like,
I definitely was someone like that. Not necessarily all the time, but I How would I describe that? No, I'll probably just keep it at that. I think I was a victim to
That's
that
totally fair.
mentality.
Coming from EDM too, especially. It's not a very lyric heavy or lyric
Right.
forward
Right.
genre, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a flip for you. But yeah, any preferences? I would down to do this either next month or the following month. I'd still have to think about a new album to listen to.
Sure, we
Um,
could do it next month. I don't mind doing that. It
yeah,
was.
I was monthly or bi-monthly is totally cool with me.
Yeah.
I get tired sometimes.
Oh.
Um,
Well, I thought we did most of our research in the last 2 days, but at
yes.
least that was me.
Um, I did. I actually did. I think I did more research. No, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you.
Oh, you probably did more research than I did, but
I would argue that the amount of research and effort we put into researching was about the same. I just picked up on more stuff
gotcha.
because I'm more familiar with with rap, but that could just be me. Um, is there? Oh, I've been listening to this new artist Jameson, and he does kind of like soul R&B stuff. He's got a new album coming out, I think, soonish. I haven't listened to any of his new songs, any of his new singles. We could do that for next month. I don't know if you wanted to be exposed to a different genre, but I that might be my bet for next month is Jameson. He does like some of his. Sometimes he sounds like JT to me,
Oh.
and he does like kind of R&B style. Yeah, it might be more up your alley, honestly. So
No,
I
I'll
might go
just
for that.
yeah,
But
I'll just leave it in your hands. I think we
one
can
week we
vibe.
just do like a heavy metal. Like I don't know. We'll see, right? That's the whole point, right? Finding
Yeah,
new music that catches your eye, and maybe you like something, maybe you don't. But I
I'm cool with
cool,
that.
man. Yeah, thanks for letting me host this one. This was fun.
Yeah, this was fun. 100%.
100.
All right. I think that concludes the segment. I also got to pee. Oh my god.
OP. It's hot.
So, yeah, I guess we'll be done.